Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the next episode of Joe Kelley's Psychedelic Experience. What's going on with you, my friend? It's your old pal Joe here, just checking in with you on a motherfucking Wednesday. How's it going? How's it hanging? Listen, I hope you're doing well, my friend. I hope you're doing better than you ever thought you possibly could be doing. And if you're not, hey, that's okay. But get your shit together, all right? We don't have to go through this time and time again, so just get your shit together. Okay? Sounds like a good idea. It's almost Thanksgiving. What are you going to be thankful for? Having your shit together. All right? This episode of the podcast is brought to you by our good friends at Magic Mind, ladies and gentlemen. MagicMind.com, promo code Joe. Save yourself some money and try a wonderful product. Also, if you'd like to support the podcast, Patreon.com/utilize shrooms. That's a great way to do that. You can join the Patreon, all right? Shows coming up. Not much of anything, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be in Frankenmuth, Michigan, the 30th and the 31st of December. All right? Other than that, that's all I got going on coming up for the end of the year. But if you want info on that, go to joekellycomedy.com for all the upcoming shows and dates, all right? How have you been, my friend? How has your week been? Sorry, the podcast is a little bit late, all right? My bad. Once again, traveling this weekend. Got stuff going on, all right? Busy as can be, okay? George Carlin once said, busy as a dyke in a hardware store. And that's a pretty busy person. I think we can all agree on that. And again, I quoted that, so I can't get in trouble for saying nothing. That was a quote. It didn't come from my heart. It came from somebody else's, and I was just reiterating it. What have you been up to, my friend? Listen, I was in Bridgeport, Connecticut this weekend doing some shows. I don't know if you guys know anything about Bridgeport, but it's not the nicest of place. From what everybody says and what happens there. Last time we were there, it was last October. Somebody got stabbed and killed after the first show. Nobody that was at the show. There's a little park where homeless people would gather right across the street from the club, and somebody got shanked out there, right? So, and when I think Connecticut, I don't know. I think the rich and the famous. I think the Robin Leaches of the world, the Vince McMahons, you know. I figured they were all in Connecticut, but apparently some people are in fact garbage. So last time we were there, someone got stabbed. Bridgeport has a terrible reputation, and the shows were fine. They were fun. You know, if people were getting stabbed right across from the club, how do you think the spirit or the morale of that city is? Probably not that great. They might be a little bit tougher to make laugh than people who don't have that type of thing going on. You know, people who can get gourmet hot dogs and, you know, artesian potato chips. They don't have to worry about, you know, they're easier to make laugh because they're already feeling good most of the time. They got nothing to worry about. No one's getting stabbed. Places where people are getting stabbed, the laughs are better, but sometimes it takes a little bit more work to get them going, you know, because those people, when they're laughing, they're really laughing. Sometimes people who just got it good for themselves are laughing just for the sake of, they don't feel anything else but joy in their empty heads because life's good, you know, and God bless them. I'm not knocking them. God bless them. But the point is the people in Bridgeport, you know, they're a little bit more tough-nosed, I suppose. But the shows were fine. Friday was a good time. It was fun. Good show, you know. We got them laughing. It took some work. Sometimes it takes some work, people. Sometimes you got to get them on your side. Not everybody's on your side when you go and do stand-up. It's strange. People go there just to be against you. Ain't that life? Some people have the attitude of, I'm not here. You have to make me laugh. That's some people's attitude towards it. You know, some people are like, I'm coming to a show to laugh. Some people are like, I'm coming here and you better make me laugh. Some people got that type of attitude, you know. But anyway, Bridgeport, Friday goes fine. Saturday night, I believe it was the early show. So the first show of the night, 7:30, right? We got 100 people in there. It's a pretty big room, but 100 people was a nice, decent crowd. And they only have 2 people, 2 servers on staff. There's no security at this place. Listen, great place to tell some jokes, but not the most well-run establishment that I've ever been to. I'll say that. And I love it. I'll go back anytime I'm in Bridgeport. I'll go back to the Stress Factory in town. But I'm just saying, you get it. 2 people on staff for 100 people. That means if you've ever waited tables or been a bartender, that's 50 people a piece, all at once too. It's not like, for most people who wait tables, if you have waited tables, you already know this. If you've never waited tables, there's like, you get the lunch rush and the dinner rush, and you might have like 6 tables to a section, right? And, but other than that, it's like people coming and people going, and it's like, these people finish up eating. So then you have time to kind of get them their check, clean off their table. And then your other 4 or 5 tables are running, but you have like time, like they come and leave and go in different times. So it's kind of staggered. But at a comedy club, it's just kind of like doors open and everybody just shows up at the same fucking time, and they all want food and drinks and this and that. So you're trying to keep up with. And most people come in couples. You might get some groups of 4, but let's say 25 tables apiece. All of a sudden, 7 o'clock rolls around and you have 25 tables apiece. That's fucking insane, but that's how some comedy clubs work. But the staff was running a little bit behind with drinks. Not to everybody, but to some people. And, everybody was fine with it. But there was one table in particular who was not fine with it. They were already fucking drunk as shit when they showed up at 7:30. So they've been lightly yapping during my whole set. And then they get their drinks, and then they're making a fucking scene about they're like, oh, we've been here forever, finally got our drink, blah, blah, blah. And they're getting louder and louder. And I'm in the middle of a joke and, opening for Aaron, just trying to keep the show moving. Because usually I would address that in a particular way. I would ruin the show. I would make the focus completely on those people if I was just doing my own thing, because they were being obnoxious and ruining the show for everybody, right? So I would bring the entire room down to address this fucking problem. But it's Aaron's show, so I'm just trying to keep it going, whatever. And I made some kind of comment about if people knew where the fuck I was in my joke, or if we were too busy paying attention to the people talking. Said something kind of slick. And then the guy, there's a couple next to them, he leans over to the guy who's talking and says, hey, why don't you shut the fuck up? And it's like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I would have said, but I can't in this situation, So tension is building, right? There's some tension rising in the room because then the people who are talking, right? He gets told, shut the fuck up. And his lady starts chiming in and she's like, we're not being loud. You're the only one saying anything. And I was like, well, I was the first one who actually said something, so I'm trying to fucking calm everybody down. They calmed down real quick. That was towards the end of my set anyway. So I finished my set. It's whatever, right? And there were so many people downstairs. I was taping the show. I had to put my camera in the balcony. So I get up to the balcony, turn the camera off, get back downstairs, get into the green room, and then I hear a ruckus. And it's like, damn it, I shouldn't have turned that camera off. That's the world we live in now, people. That's the world. I wasn't worried if somebody was hurt. My first initial thought was, damn, could have got a video out of this one if I would have just let my camera run for an extra 2 minutes. What a fucking terrible voyeuristic culture we live in. That was my first thought. But then it's like, okay, let me get out into the showroom and see what's going on. And those 2 fellas from the tables, the real drunk ones and the guy who said shut the fuck up, they're now, they're kind of fighting. It's kind of a fist fight, but not really. I missed most of it. So everything from here on out is going to be hearsay. It's like, I guess they might have started talking to each other again. And the guy who said shut the fuck up, I guess pushed the dude. I think he might have started the physical confrontation. Maybe. I don't know. I missed all that. But ruckus is going on. They don't have security. They got 2 staff members. They're in the back trying to run food, you know. So then the host of the show, who was also working the door, he all of a sudden becomes security also for the club. Oh, it was fantastic. He was a big old boy. Matt, fucking Matty, 400-pound Matty, Matty the fatty. He took he took that bouncing role very serious, and he kind of got in between them, I guess. There was a glass broken, and I guess I don't think anybody necessarily got punched, or maybe the real drunk dude might have got punched. He got pushed down. He lost. Overall, he lost the fight, and him and his lady got kicked out. So, and after those people were gone, the show was completely fine. Imagine that. Imagine the 2 people who were causing a problem. Once they left, the show went off without a hitch, you know? Went off without a hitch. And that's where, in the beginning, I would have taken the room down to their level and been like, what's going on here? Are we going to be a problem the whole fucking show? You know? But nobody died. And then the people, they got kicked out, and I don't know, they were talking all sorts of shit. And then, you know, and then the people who initiate, the people who were the conscience of the room, they came back. I think I already said that. But that was the early show, and then the second show was great, and that was it. We just had to deal with just a grown man who was going to be a problem. The only way he probably could have been handled was, maybe if security was there, they could have done something like that. But the only way that it was going to be handled appropriately was somebody in the audience saying enough's enough, and I'm going to push you over and maybe hit you, and then you're going to get kicked out. So we all win anyway. Oh, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. It was funny because Weber's on stage, and he doesn't know what the fuck to do. Poor old fucking Weber hanging up there, don't know what to do. He goes, he's just sitting there going, is there any staff available? Is there any staff available? The 2 servers are fucking, they're smaller ladies. They ain't gonna do shit. So thank God Matt was there to fucking wrangle everybody. I gotta fucking stop it because the video's fucking up. Technical difficulties. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. But I haven't seen a grown man fight at a comedy club, or just in general, in quite some time. So, what a fucking time, old Bridgeport, huh? What a fucking time. There's only been... I saw a guy try to throw a chair at Chad Ryden. He was a comic who used to live here in Nashville, but he's out in the desert somewhere now. But he kind of had it coming. Chad was on stage, and there was a drunk guy, and there was like maybe 6 people at this show. It was over at a place called Fat Bites in Donaldson, Tennessee. If you're ever in Tennessee, swing by fucking Fat Bites. The food, fucking phenomenal. But we're doing this show. There's like 6 fucking people in the audience. And there's one dude who's real drunk and he's causing issues. And Chad's just fucking egging him on the whole time. And God, I forget what Chad said that set him off. But this poor fucking drunk bastard, his feelings are all hurt for some reason. And he gets to the door. He's leaving. He's getting to the door to leave. And then Chad says something. And the dude just fucking beelines it towards Chad at the stage, grabs a chair along the way, and a couple comics stopped him. But I didn't. I thought Chad might have had it coming that day, to be honest. I was like, oh, if this guy's going to throw a chair at Chad, I think Chad might have been saying too much, especially as the guy was leaving. He could have not egged him on at that last second and everything would have been fine. But fuck. That chair didn't go flying. So Damn, would have been a fun one. The only other time I've seen anybody get real mad was, I think it was like my buddy's aunt or his mom's friend or something like that. They came to a show, and I used to have a joke about, I can't fucking even remember the joke. Something about Chick-fil-A, and I can't remember, testing hair for drugs, and something about, I can't remember. But she had twisted whatever I said to make her feel like I was making fun of somebody with cancer. Because I guess she was going through chemotherapy and had short hair. So somehow she thought I was making fun of people with cancer. And it wasn't at all. But she was trying to get down. There's a green room at Zany's in Nashville. And there's like a little corridor to get to the green room. And she was trying to make her way down there. And I was willing to have a conversation with her, but everyone made me go outside. And I don't know why I listened to people. I think I could have diffused the situation and go, listen here, you goofy bitch. I'm sorry you got cancer, but that joke had nothing to do with having cancer. You should listen. You should listen to others more instead of being so self-centered. Maybe the fact that you have cancer is God's way of punishing you for only caring about yourself your entire life and not being able to hear the opinion or viewpoint of others. You goofy broad. That's what I would have said. So maybe they, maybe they did what's best for the club and me and her and everybody's well-being by making me go outside. But I would have liked to have a conversation with her. Just let her know how I feel. Let her go, listen, you can't be judging people for their jokes, you fucking goofball lady. What are you doing here drinking alcohol and fried food anyway? Isn't your immune system and nervous system weak enough? Shouldn't you be at home eating vegetables and taking care of yourself and resting instead of spending the little energy you have getting mad at something I said, which wasn't even what you thought I said? These people are insane. These people are insane out here who are getting mad about jokes because they don't listen that well. But no one's ever tried to really fight me. Except that one lady, or she just wanted to let her opinion be heard. But, and that's been it as far as the audience is fighting too. Oh, there was a time when people thought somebody was fighting, but people were just hammered drunk. There's a place in Jackson, Tennessee, and they have a balcony, like an open, I guess it's just a balcony. I don't know how else to explain it. Do we all fucking understand the concept of like upstairs? Because that's what a balcony is, in case you all didn't know. It's upstairs, and usually there's seating. But they have a balcony with a rail up there, and people would put their beers on it. And there were a couple... It was like a group of 3 guys or something like that. And they were getting a little bit rowdy to the point they were buddies. But it sounded like there was like tension, like they were getting mad at each other. It sounded like they were getting heated up in the balcony. So all of a sudden, I forget who was on stage. I might have been on stage. A fucking beer bottle just comes falling down from the balcony and just smashes on this dude's table. And, dude, without missing a beat, at least 2 fucking good old boys from goddamn Jackson, Tennessee with their fucking Dale Earnhardt hats, and fucking washed out jeans and their work boots on, hightailed it up those fucking steps and were like fucking Johnny Law on top of it. But it turns out there was no fighting. There was just some really hammered dudes, I wish there was a little bit more fun, people getting more upset. I'm happy there's not, I suppose. Maybe I should just be happy that no one's really gotten into a true physical altercation at any of the comedy shows I've been at. I'm going to take credit for that. I'm going to say I'm the one fucking keeping the peace together, and that's why nobody's fucking getting into fisticuffs when old Joe's around. Not because of anything I do, but just because of how I am. My spirit brings peace and harmony over the fucking... audiences, unless you got cancer. And then I guess you're real mad at me all the time. But that was the weekend, people. Good old Bridgeport. Lots of fun. Fucking, you know, that was it. That was the gist of it. That was pretty much the end all be all of the whole weekend. That was really the highlight. Did some shows. That was, no one got stabbed, but a couple people got into a fight. And it was, fucking good times all around, Good people in Bridgeport. Give it a try. Top 10 destinations in America, Bridgeport, Connecticut, according to me. It's probably number 7, I'd say. It used to be, last time when somebody got stabbed, dude, it used to be like 13, something like that. But now no one got stabbed, and there was a fun fight, and, so up to 7, in my opinion. Let's take a break. How about we check in with our sponsors? And we'll be right back with more Joe Kelley's Psychedelic Experience, all right? Thanks for being here, everybody. Woo-wee. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Magic Mind. Are you tired of your mind being controlled by the 5G network? Do yourself a favor and get yourself Magic Mind, all right? Now, these aren't case studies. These statements aren't even supported necessarily by Magic Mind, but my own private studies that I've been doing with Magic Mind people. The amount of 5G frequency that enters my brain and controls my actions is far less, almost non-existent when I drink Magic Mind in the morning. It clears my brain. It puts me in a good mood. And it also, it seems, again, none of this is a case study. None of this has been verified by any other source than myself. It also seems to put a dome over your mind that prevents the 5G from controlling you and making you a slave to the New World Order. So if that sounds good to you, go to magicmind.com and use the promo code Joe and save yourself some coin off this wonderful product that not only makes your mornings better, but also, once again, my own personal studies will prevent 5G network from getting into your brain. So magicmind.com, promo code JOE, and let's get back to the podcast, shall we? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed that brief message from our wonderful sponsors here at Joe Kelley's Psychedelic Experience. Here's something I was thinking about, people. You know how TikTok is terrible and ruining everything about life. You guys know that? You know how bad it is for your brains and everything, and we love it, But here, this is something. This is my own little theory that I've come up with on my own. All right? So stick with me on this one, people. What if COVID was released from the vat in China to get everyone addicted to TikTok? What if that's possible? Because here's the thing. I knew what TikTok was before the pandemic, before everything locked down, right? Before everything went to hell in a handbag, before we all panicked and just stayed locked inside. I knew what TikTok was, but I was never on it, And then all of a sudden the pandemic hits, and then TikTok, everyone gets on it, I get on it, and everyone's mindlessly scrolling. Remember the first 2 months when everyone was up until like 5 a.m. just watching TikTok? It was the beginning of this mind control programming that China released on the world. Think about it, people. Who the fuck was on TikTok before the pandemic? Just idiots dancing. That was it. That was all that was on TikTok. And now it's everything. And now it's podcast clips and people just working away, and people rating food. People love to tell you about the things they fucking eat and let you know how good they think they are or how bad and how much they don't care for the fucking thing they just ate. And they also like to go, who's got a better chicken sandwich, Wendy's or Burger King? As if every fucking Wendy's and Burger King is the same everywhere in the goddamn country. You're going to get a better fucking product in the goddamn suburbs than you are in the fucking, the inner cities. Let's be real. And I'm not talking about the people here. I know how you could see that, but I'm talking about fast food chicken sandwiches, all right? In the country, too, out in the in-between places. These people got nothing better to do. They got nothing going on. So they put a lot of effort into their chicken sandwiches. But where people have shit going on and TikToks to watch and stuff to do, they don't give a shit about making a chicken sandwich. But you can watch these assholes on TikTok and everything now. Here's the other thing. Because I don't even remember the short videos being a thing up until TikTok took over during the pandemic. So I think this is all, you follow me, people, how China's brainwashed everybody using TikTok? Because here's the thing. Here's the other thing. And I think I remember correctly because Instagram Reels didn't come out until August 5th of 2020. So it was after they were trying to keep up with TikTok at that point. Facebook Reels didn't start until September 2021. Everyone thought it was going to be a fad, that people weren't going to be watching these short videos, and now everybody is. And now everybody is all the time, and nobody knows where they are. Nobody knows where they're going because they're too busy being controlled by these Chinese apps, you know? Is that possible? Do y'all think that is fucking possible, that the whole pandemic was just a scam to get people on TikTok and to fucking brainwash us and to make time go by so quick even though we never get anything done because we're watching people go to fucking Buffalo Wild Wings and going, oh, these wings aren't that great. And it's like, well, fucking of course not. It's Buffalo Wild Wings. Who's going there? Buffalo Wild Wings hasn't been good since 2007. No one's as good as when they first start showing up a lot of places. And I don't know if Buffalo Wild Wings has been around before that, but that's when I remember starting to see them. But everything's great in the beginning, and then it all gets fucking watered down and becomes about profit, and then you're getting shitty fucking goddamn chicken wings. And then you're talking about it on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and everything. Because now everything's a short form video. But now they're like, oh, you can do long short form videos. You know, they condensed it. They go, okay, now you got 15 seconds and then you get 30 seconds. And now we go, oh, we're back to 10 minutes again. Why didn't you start with the 10 minutes to begin with? Why'd you condense everything? And now you're fucking, I just feel like they're fucking with us, people. I think the whole thing was a big scam to get people on TikTok and get them addicted to these short form videos. All right? You heard it here first, people. Okay? That's when I feel like I haven't heard anybody. I was just fucking minding my own business, and it came to me. And I'm here to spread the truth to you fine people. And I'm sure this episode is not, I don't know, demonetized, something bad. I've said too many things. And I don't even know what I'm talking about. And it's because of TikTok. I don't even have it on my phone, but I still think about it. It's still in my head. I don't even need to be on TikTok because now TikTok is everything. Now everywhere is TikTok. We live in a TikTok culture and no one's dancing anymore. I see no dances. You know, I see car crashes in the algorithm. You know, once you watch one car crash, that's all they're going to show. Then they're going to make you feel like you're a crazy person because all you do is watch car crashes and high schoolers fist fighting each other. But you'd only watched it one time and now that's all you fucking get to watch. You know what I mean, people? And fucking people with Down syndrome cooking mashed potatoes. You'll watch one video and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, this guy doesn't want to watch anything but people with Down syndrome cooking foods that are relatively easy to cook. And I don't. It was just one time. I was just experimenting. I was like, oh, maybe they're going to make, maybe it's like, you know, maybe it's the Gordon Ramsay of people with Down syndrome. He's going to show you how to make scrambled eggs that are going to take 9 minutes, but they'll be the best eggs you've ever had. But it wasn't. He's just melting a candy bar in his pocket. Which melted candy bar is better, a Snickers or a Butterfinger? The Butterfinger holds together a little bit better when it's melted because it's got that peanut butter filling. Anyway, get off TikTok and quit supporting the Chinese government. Oh, the other thing about China, this was fun. This was all over the news. Did you see where, I guess, the Chinese president, I think he's a president, whatever you want to call him, he was in San Francisco for something, and they took all the homeless people and got rid of them for the fucking Chinese president guy, you know? The president of China, excuse me. They cleaned it up, made it look nice for him. And then Gavin Newsom, I guess he's the governor of California, right? He comes out and he's like, well, of course we cleaned it up for them. You always clean up your house for guests. But that's just, you know, if that's not a view of or a point to go, there's like an us, them sort of thing where the citizens of San Francisco aren't respected enough by the leaders that they'll just let people keep shitting all over the sidewalk. But as soon as, you know, the president of China, who has released TikTok on the world, you know, and has brainwashed everybody, as soon as he shows up, they're like, oh, we're going to, well, at least hose down the shit and put up some fences, you know. It's interesting. It's interesting just how out in the open they are about not giving a shit about anybody. And then we just keep voting for him anyway, and go, he's a handsome devil, and he's got a slick tongue, so it's, you know. But he's like, no, we don't give a shit about you. We don't give a shit about the house. Not when there's not a guest here. No, absolutely not. You guys can live in shit, and like you're on an episode of Hoarders. But once fucking, you know, the goddamn czar from Iceland shows up, it's like we gotta clean this place up a little bit. They don't give a shit about you, and don't let them make you think they do. They were probably cutting. I bet Gavin Newsom has some stock in TikTok. I bet you he's suckling the teat of China somehow, as they all are. And there's nothing wrong. You know, I don't know enough about China other than the fact that they released COVID on the world to get everybody hooked on TikTok. That's a fact. You can take that to the bank. So, how about that? How about that, people? Let's get you the animal video clip of the week and get you on your fucking way, people. All right? Hopefully, I had a little bit of fun today. This one, it's an older clip, but it resurfaced recently into my life anyway. And it's something that I've been kind of thinking about lately anyway. Is just, again, I guess it kind of comes back to TikTok and the whole, you know, the phone-obsessed world that we live in. Is like just the lack of awareness that people have when they're on their phones, or not even on your phone, just even when you have like earbuds in, if you're listening to music and you're walking through the world, you know, everyone's got fucking noise canceling headphones, so you can hear nothing around you, you know? People are so ripe for the pickings right now, and everyone's, you know, we should be living in terror because we live in complete ignorance. Where it's like we're all in our own world. We're not paying attention to our surroundings at all. And, you know, it's not good. I've been I'll still keep an earbud in if I'm wandering around a little bit, but I've been putting just one in, you know, so I'm still somewhat alert. But realistically, wandering around in the world, you should, we got it too easy to where we don't even have to pay attention to nothing. But anyway, it's a lady, and she's on a snowboard, and she's got like her big Beats fucking noise canceling headphones on, and she's just singing a song, riding down this fucking slope, and she's got the little selfie stick or whatever, and all of a sudden the fucking bear shows up behind her, and a bear is like chasing this broad, and she's too busy singing Nelly Furtado or whatever it is to even notice that she might die and get eaten by a bear. But that's one of those situations where it's like, are you better off not knowing there's a bear behind you? Because the bear didn't catch her, and it's like, ignorance is bliss, you know? I think that might have been the title of the video. But where if you notice the bear and you freak out, maybe you fucking fall down or you do something you shouldn't do because you panic and freak out. But not knowing the bear's there, you just carry on as business as usual and you don't get eaten by the bear. How often does having headphones in save you from a bear? That's one. Out of 10 times, how often does that happen? How often does the bear, because you're not paying attention, does the bear get you in the end? Who knows? Who knows? Be alert, people. Be aware or be completely ignorant. One of the two. Don't be halfway in between. Maybe I should, like me with my one fucking earbud in. I should listen to my own advice from time to time. Thanks for checking out the podcast this week, everybody. Hope we had a little bit of fun, all right? Once again, thank you to Magic Mind for being a wonderful sponsor of the podcast. MagicMind.com, promo code Joe. Save yourself a few bucks. Patreon.com/utilize shrooms is a great way to support the podcast. And also, I'll be in Frankenmuth, Michigan, the 30th and the 31st of goddamn December. All right? Happy holidays, everybody. I know we're not quite there yet, but in case I don't get to you before then, happy fucking holidays. But I think I'll check in with you before then. Anyway, do me a favor before you get out of here, all right? Take care of yourself. Take care of somebody else. And I'll catch you around real fucking soon, all right? Later, my friend. YouTube, what's happening? What's cracking with you? Bonus portion of the podcast exclusively on YouTube. How have you been, my friend? What's been going on with you? How do you feel about the China conspiracy to release TikTok onto the world and brainwash everybody into being stupid, fucking just idiot consumers watching people live their lives instead of living one their own? Anything's possible, right? Anything's possible. Listen, have some fun this week. Get out there. Do something great with yourself. I'll talk to you soon. I love you. Peace be with you and also with you, okay?